Nobody helps me. Nobody supports me. What are you giving people to support? Don't blame nobody else. Blame yourself. Are we ever really thinking back to say, what role did I play in any of these problems that occurred in my life? YouTube, welcome back to another video. You know who it is. It's your boy Big Sitchy back with another one. Pardon me for a second as I drink some of this water. Delicioso. Let's get right back into it. I heard and I found out that YouTube is rewarding small content creators. So what does that mean? If you're creating videos with value, I heard YouTube is rewarding the ones that are placing value onto the platform. So I'm back and I'm here to tell y'all I'm starting my 30-day challenge. Shout out to Meta for the inspiration. As y'all know, we on YouTube growing each and every day, and I decided to take this challenge so I can grow my YouTube platform and, to eventually obviously monetize outside of obviously doing what we're doing. But we do want to be able to monetize, and this is one way we're going to get to it. So like I said, this is day one of providing value. We on the road. Like I said, every video, we on the road to 500 subscribers and counting. But we're going to surpass that real soon, and we're going to get to the thousands, the millions. And best believe we're going to get that YouTube plaque too pretty soon with consistency. All right, let's get right into it. All right, y'all. So today I want to talk about accountability. Whose fault is it? Is it your fault? Is it my fault? Whose fault? As we look at a lot of our problems now, we tend to blame people. We tend to blame our partners. We tend to blame our friends, our family members, all the above. But are we ever really thinking back to say, what role did I play in any of these problems that occurred in my life? Because I know for a fact there's things that we have control over and there's things we don't have control over. For the things that you do have control of, how much accountability are you putting on yourself for it? Are you doing things that are going to affect your future in a positive way? Or are you doing things that's going to affect your future in a negative way? These are the type of things you have to think about when it comes to accountability. We're not getting any younger. We're only getting older. We have to be a lot smarter and wiser with the things that we do, things that we see, the things that we eat, and the people we hang around. And those are the things that, you have to take full accountability for. You can control who you hang around. You can control what you eat. You can control what you're watching as well. That's all part of your diet, And for any of those things that I mentioned, if anything is not right, then, it's time to start reevaluating it and being accountable and being responsible and understanding that certain things, you have to remove certain things from your life. You're not going to have people just sitting there watching you and trying to, they're not going to walk your hand through everything anymore. Start taking accountability for things. And it's on you. Like I said, it's things that you have control of and it's things you don't have control of. 90% of the time, any problem that occurs in your life, it's your fault. It's your fault. You have to start saying it's your fault. You know why? Because like I said earlier, we all know right from wrong, and it's your job to be making the right choice. We all know what type of effect things have depending on what you do. If you do something positive, you have a positive effect. Do something negative, it's going to have a negative effect. So are you holding yourself accountable for the things that you do, for the things that you watch, for the things that you eat, for the people you continue to hang around with? Think about it. We all got goals in life. And depending on what your goals are, you have to either eliminate or add to it. So when we talk about friends or associates or however you want to call them, when you think about your future and you think about your goals, are you asking yourself you need to ask yourself this one question. Are they helping me or are they taking away? You have to think about these things because it's either one of the two. They're either helping you or they're taking away. And the only way they can help you is by obviously adding value to you, reminding you of the things that you need to be doing, holding you accountable, making sure you're staying on task, making sure they don't put you in any situation where you have to be in harm's way. So you have to remember, people are going to say to your friends, people are going to say they're this and that. What it really comes down to is how people treat you, not what they say to you, but it's about how they show you. For example, if I'm a basketball player and you, as my friend, you know that I'm supposed to be getting up early in the mornings, going to go work out, getting my proper rest, eating the right things, staying away from alcohol, weed, all the above. And you as my friend are outside, hanging out late night, and you're telling me to tag along. Do you think you're helping or you're taking away from me? I need y'all to answer that question for me right now. Is this friend that knows his friend is a basketball player, but insists on keeping him out late, smoking, drinking, going to parties, when this person should be telling their friend, yo, listen, you got to stay home, get some rest, stay away from the liquor, stay away from the weed, keep your mind right? You tell me, Is this person helping or taking away from you? I need y'all to answer that question for me right now. If I have a friend, if I'm the basketball player and my friend is keeping me outside late, keeping me around people that are smoking, drinking, and doing all the above, is my friend helping or taking away from me? I'm going to answer that question for y'all right now. It's taking away. It's taking away a lot from you. Taking away from his sleep. It's taking away from his proper rest. It's taking away from just a friendship, for one. And it's keeping him off. It's taking away his mindset to the goals that he's trying to reach. You can't possibly be an athlete without getting proper rest. You can't possibly be a proper athlete without avoiding liquor, weed, and any type of bad substance in general. You can't possibly perform your best when you're tired and you have no sleep. You recover in your sleep. So how is this person doing any good to you? And the crazy thing about it is this happens all the time. But are you holding yourself accountable? Are you thinking to yourself, is my friend helping me or is he taking away from me? How is my friend helping me reach my goals? Sometimes you got to deal with people accordingly. When you're on a goal, when you're on a mission to complete something, sometimes you have to, love friends from a distance and understand that what you're doing is not helping, it's taking away. I can't afford to be losing sleep. I can't afford to be out late night drinking, smoking, and being around people like that. How is that helping me to my basketball career? It's not. It's taken away. So you have to hold yourself accountable and think about these type of things, because this can go on and on for any other situation. It's the same thing applies. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever goals you're trying to make, or whatever goals that you're trying to reach, you have to think about the people that are around your circle. Are they helping or are they taking away from you? Are they helping you reach your goals or are they stopping you from taking your goals? Because you know what you need to do to stay focused. And you know what you need to do to stay away from. So if you're around the things that are constantly distracting you, you're only setting yourself back when you should be on the rise. But that's up to you. And this is why we talk about accountability. Are you going to let your dreams go down the drain because of a friendship that you think was helping you, or what you thought was genuine? Or are you going to hold yourself accountable and be responsible and say to yourself, listen, as my friend, you have to understand I need to get my rest. I need to go to sleep. I need to stay away from the bad influence. I got to be able to perform at my best. And the only way I can do this is by getting the proper rest, staying away from the unnecessary things, being above the influence. Another thing too, though, what you got to understand, any good friend that wants to see their friend do good, those that they're on a mission to reaching their goals and they're on the right path, they're not going to put you in any situation where you have to choose between their friendship or your goals. Any genuine friend is going to understand that there's certain things you have to do and there's certain things you cannot do. Excuse me. You have to understand that. And if they're not able to see that, then guess what? It's time to let them go. It's time to let them go. That's the reality of it. Water tastes so good when you're thirsty. But on a serious note, you have to understand people are going to be around you, but you have to understand that, you have goals. You have to hold yourself accountable. If you know that hanging with this person, they're only going to do things that are not going to help you overall, you got to stay away from them. You got to stay away. If it's not helping you, it's taken away. And this applies for anything in your life. Any type of goal you have to think back to yourself and realize, is this helping me or is it taking away from my goals? You should be able to answer that question. And there's no problem with eliminating things or eliminating people for the time being, because you got to stay focused. Like I said, any true friend that understands that you're on the rise and you're trying to change for the better, you should not have to deal with being peer pressured to do something that you don't want to do to distract you from your goals so you can save a friendship. Because any real friendship, they're going to understand what you're trying to do and help you stay away from anything that's going to stop you from reaching your goals. And if they can't understand that, then they're not your real friends. They're not your real friends. Sometimes the truth hurts, but you got to understand that. So you can be strong-minded and understand that off the rip, what you can do and what you cannot do, and hold yourself accountable. You're supposed to just, as a human being, as an individual, as an adult, as a child, as a kid, you got to understand what's helping you and what's not helping you, and hold yourself accountable for it. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself if you're the only person that can see where you're trying to go right now as far as your dreams and your goals and aspirations. You know, sometimes your best influence or your best motivation comes from YouTube. Get on YouTube, come home, watch some inspirational videos to keep you aligned. You got to do that. Sometimes you got to do it, and it's okay, because the ones that understand will never put you in any situation to make you feel like you have to choose their friendship over your goals. And this comes from family members, boyfriends, girlfriends, situationships, like whatever, teacher, whatever the case may be. Anybody that really understands you and wants to and supports you will never put you in harm's way. And if they do, you got to hold yourself accountable and understand, this ain't working for me. I got to do something else. I can't be in this situation. You have to hold yourself accountable and understand that. Even with relationships, when things go wrong, when you're, in an environment where you stayed longer than you should have, blame yourself. Don't blame nobody else, even if it is their fault, because you know why? Once you start blaming yourself and holding yourself accountable, nobody can put the blame on you. Everything is not an L. Every loss is not an L. It's an experience. It's a learning experience. You start over from experience. So the next time you deal with someone, you know what not to do. Like I said, sometimes we stay in an environment where, our time's been up. We should have been left. And then we wonder why things happen. We wonder why things get more crazier than they already been. You've been somewhere too long where you should have left. And sometimes it takes for you to get your heart broken. Sometimes it takes for things to go wrong. Sometimes it takes for you to never speak to that person again, to realize how harmful things have really gotten. But you got to hold yourself accountable. Learn from it. Sometimes you just got to roll with the punches, and it's perfectly fine. But blaming yourself will prevent anybody from putting the blame on you. Yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault I didn't go to the gym today. It's my fault I didn't eat the right foods today. It's my fault I didn't drink enough water today. It's my fault I got cheated on. It's my fault I lost my temper. It's my fault I'm late on my car note. It's my fault I didn't know this information and it cost me a fee that I could have avoided. I had taken a little more time to understand what is going on. See, the thing now, we live in a world where anything you need to know is online. So as long as you got an iPhone or a laptop and some Wi-Fi, at this point, there's really no excuse for you not knowing anything. Everything's within the click of a button. You're one search away from finding out the information that you need. Literally. Between Google, TikTok, YouTube, you'll find the information you need, whatever it is. So if you don't know any of this and you're not taking advantage of it, blame yourself. Be accountable. The only way you're going to get better is to blame yourself. Don't blame nobody else. Blame yourself. And even if your excuse is, I don't have Wi-Fi. There's so many places and restaurants now that have Wi-Fi. McDonald's, Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. All these places have Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi at that. Blame yourself. Be accountable. Accountability. If you're not happy about the situation you're currently in financially, where you stay at, where you live at, it's your fault. It's your fault. Blame yourself. Be accountable for that, because you know why? There's a million ways right now to get money. There's a million ways to change your life. There's a million ways to change your situation. Do y'all not understand that there's ways for you to change your life, change your situation, change your environment without even having money? Through connections, through relationships. The power of relationships can get you in the doors that money can't. Do y'all not understand this? And if you didn't know, blame yourself. Blame yourself. Be accountable. Because there's so many ways for you to get in the rooms. There's so many ways for you to change your environment. There's so many ways for you to be around people that are like-minded. There's so many ways. There's so many ways. And like I said, if you don't know anybody that knows something, you have the power within the internet. Again, as long as you got one of these things, some Wi-Fi, you can learn anything in the world. It's so much information out there. But the question is, Are you being responsible and going after it? If the answer is no, blame yourself. Be accountable. Go figure it out. Go figure it out. If you look at your situation as far as how you get around to places, if you don't have a car right now, blame yourself. If you're unhappy taking a bus all the time, blame yourself. If you don't have your license or you don't have an ID right now, blame yourself. You have to blame yourself. You cannot put the blame on nobody else but yourself. The information's out there, but are you being resourceful? Blame yourself. Sometimes you just gotta blame yourself. This way nobody can put the blame on you. You can acknowledge the problem, whatever problem it is, and move forward. Learn from experience. From that experience, take on and grow. You can only get better when you learn from experience. Experience is the best teacher. If no one taught you nothing, your experience doing something is the best teacher ever. You learn what to do, what not to do, so that when you go to do something that's similar or the same thing, you have the knowledge now, the background knowledge to get further at where you're trying to go. You have the knowledge to know what not to do and what to do to further yourself in that situation again. And if you can't figure that out, blame yourself. Sometimes you just gotta blame yourself. Be accountable. It's nobody's fault but yours. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, people could be living under a rock and don't know what's going on, and that's perfectly fine. But it's one thing to, not know and not be resourceful versus one thing to know and be resourceful. Take action. Be curious. And, like I said, literally anything you want to figure out, you can find out through your cell phone, through a laptop. All you need is some Wi-Fi. So if there's anything that's ever not going your way, if it's relationships, if you're not happy, be accountable and understand what you're not happy about. If this person can't help you or change their ways to make you happy, then leave. And if you choose to stay and the problems get worse, don't blame that person. Blame yourself. Blame yourself for sticking around a lot longer than you're supposed to. Because if you want things to be a certain way and there's no changes being made, but you stick around, it's nobody's fault but yours. Because at this point now, you done realize that this person's not going to change. And you have the choice to leave, but you still chose to stay. And then things get worse. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. Who else you going to blame? You got to blame yourself. And that's just the reality of it. If you got time to catch up on all these Netflix shows, but you don't know how to start up a business, you don't know how to start up your goals, you don't know how to set goals, set and reach them, you don't know how to search up things that you need to figure out on YouTube, blame yourself. Because that same energy you're using to be watching all these Netflix shows and all these TV shows can be the same energy you use to figure out information that's going to benefit you. I can't tell you the last time I turned my TV on. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what NBA teams is winning, what teams, who's on whose team now. I done got so much out the loop because all I'm watching is YouTube videos that are going to help me learn and keep me focused, remain focused on the task and the daily goals that I have for myself and within my business. I used to watch TV all the time. I got so much dust around my TV now. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on TV. I don't even know what channels things are on now. I'm constantly every day trying to learn, get better, be efficient. And if there's anything that I'm lacking, if I made a mistake on, I'm not blaming nobody else but myself. Like I said, I have a laptop, I have a cell phone, and I got Wi-Fi. So I got the essential tools that I need to get to where I need to go to. And 9 times out of 10, you do too. I've listed the places that have Wi-Fi. If you don't have Wi-Fi at home, you can maximize it by going to a Starbucks, going to McDonald's, going to Burger King, any little place for the time being. If not, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, you have a friend that has Wi-Fi at their house. Go over their house and hang out for a little bit and use the Wi-Fi. Be efficient with the time over there. Gather up some information. Do that a few times a week. I'm pretty sure they'll let you do it. You're over the house all the time anyway. Maximize your time. And on the other hand, if you're telling me that you don't have the time to do that, but you got time to watch Netflix and do all these other things and know who's on whose team, all the NBA player stats, but you don't know your own stats within your business, within your health, within yourself, to be the best person you can be, blame yourself. You know the stats between every NBA player. You know about all these actors, where they live at, what kind of cars they drive. But you don't know the stats to your own life to benefit yourself. Blame yourself. If you're talking every day about why you have no money throughout the week, but every weekend you're out going to the club, partying, turning up, drinking, smoking, and you're wondering where your money's at. Where do you think your money's at? Y'all pay for a bottle of Hennessy, a bottle of Don Julio, a bottle of Patron, but you won't pay for a class that's gonna help you reach your goals. That's gonna give you the information to reach your goals. Blame yourself. And you're wondering why that business you say you was gonna start about 5 years ago hasn't been started yet. But you're partying every weekend. You're smoking and drinking every other night. Every other weekend is a turn-up weekend for you. Every weekend is a turn-up weekend for you. Staying up late, waking up later. You don't wake up till 12 o'clock on a Saturday, and you wonder why you're behind. You wonder why you haven't learned anything. You're wondering why your business hasn't got to where it needs to be. Then during the week, you're complaining. Nobody helps me. Nobody supports me. What are you giving people to support? When you're constantly in the club, when you're constantly at bars, partying, turning up, drinking, getting wasted, then you don't wake up till 12 o'clock the next morning, the next evening. Half of your day's already gone by then. You're supposed to maximize your weekends. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit up here and say don't party. But if you're going to party on a Friday night, you can't get up the next morning to go work on your business, you shouldn't be partying. Because I believe in balance, of course, for sure. But there's a difference between being responsible and being stupid. Blame yourself. It doesn't make sense. But you got to hold yourself accountable and understand, if I'm trying to reach certain goals, there's certain things I can no longer do. I learned that. I used to get, for me, every weekend I used to get into a hotel, turn up, party, drinking, having fun. But then as I started to mature and understand that, I want to start a business, I want to pay for certain things, I got to cut back a lot of things that I'm spending my money on. You couldn't tell me nothing. From Friday to Sunday, I was partying, turning up, going crazy. Excuse me. Until I matured and realized that I can't run a business partying all the time like that. The business funding that I did have was going straight into the weekends, the hotels, the turn up. I held myself accountable and I said, okay, if I got money for a hotel and a turn up, I should have money to start a business. I should have money to pay for information that's going to help me run this business. I should have money to get the supplies, get the equipment that I need to start making t-shirts, to start making hoodies, to start making hats. I had to hold myself accountable. And if I didn't have it, I would blame myself. But I did have it. It was a matter of me using my money correctly. And that's the same thing for you guys. Y'all sit up here and say, oh, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that. But you got money for a bottle of Don Julio? You got money for a bottle of some Hennessy, but when it comes to buying an ebook or paying to get into a classroom that has all the information you need to make your business get to where it needs to be, all of a sudden you don't have the money for it. Blame yourself. Just blame yourself. You got to be smarter. You got to be wise. You got to understand it's sacrifice. Every weekend is not going to be a turn-up weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope I was able to provide some type of value to you all. Open up your eyes to a lot of things that we tend to blame people for. But instead, we should be holding ourselves accountable. There's a lot of things and a lot of people that, could either harm you, help you, or take away from you. And we have to be responsible and hold ourselves accountable and understand that not everything is good and not everything is bad. Sometimes you have to have a balance, and sometimes you have to make sacrifice. The people, places, relationships that we encounter, and if we're on a rise to reaching our goals and we have goals that we're trying to reach, you have to ask yourself a question. Are they helping you or are they taking away? And if they're taking away, you have to take away yourself from that situation or that relationship so you can better yourself. You should never be in a situation where you have to choose between a friendship or your goals, because any real friend or any real partner is going to make sure that you're in the best position to win and reach your goals. Whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, brother, parent, whatever the case may be, if they believe in you and they want the best for you, you should never have any issues with reaching your goals when it comes to that. So, and if you do, then it's time to hold yourself accountable, be responsible, and remove yourself. But it's on you to do that. If you choose not to, don't be upset about the consequence that comes with that. This is day one of the 30-day challenge. I hope I was able to bring some value to y'all. I hope y'all was able to open up your eyes a little more and be a little more wiser with the decisions you make, people you hang around with, the things you do, and hold yourself accountable. Anytime things are going good, hold yourself accountable. Anytime things are going bad, hold yourself accountable. And just understand, there's a cause and effect to everything. Be mindful and, do what you're supposed to be doing to reach your goals. Be efficient. Maximize your time. If the people around you are not, goal-oriented, it's time to remove yourself. But if you choose to stay around bad influence and you wonder why you're not reaching your goals, blame yourself. It's 2025. Let's start taking more accountability. Let's start taking action. Let's be responsible. Let's stand up for ourselves and make sure the people around us are helping us and not taking away. All right, so you already know we're on the road to 500 subscribers and counting. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. It's your boy Big Sitchy. Peace.